Hello everybody, this is Dr. Swati live from Los Angeles giving you tip number 4 about how to deal with fear. Now we have looked at 3 tips. Tip number 4 is think about if your fear is one of the 2 types. There can be 2 types of fears. One is just a simple fear. Sometimes cigar is just a cigar. You could be afraid of some sort of survival. Maybe you went through a bad experience. For example, being afraid of dogs or being afraid of heights or being afraid of running into a situation where you think that you will not be able to breathe or something like that. So fear is just a fear of survival. Second type of fear is coming from a negative core belief. It could be fear of failure, fear of embarrassment, fear of I will not be loved, fear of I will be helpless, something that is underlying the fear, which is a core belief that you have about yourself, something that is very difficult to deal with, something about you that you're worried about or afraid of. So today I will talk about the first type of fear, which is cigar is just a cigar. Fear of something that is more concrete, something that could happen to you and you'll be afraid. Now, typically the answer to that is slow exposure. It could be a quick exposure or it could be a slow exposure. For example, let me give you my own story. I was raised in India. In India, we are taught a lot of times to be afraid of dogs because we have a lot of stray dogs. But when I came to the US, that wasn't the case. Not only that, here there are so many dog lovers. This is not to say that India doesn't have dog lovers. Of course it does. But in general, being afraid of dogs makes sense there. Here, I did not want to pass it on to the next generation. So slowly, I decided I wasn't going to show everybody I was so afraid of dogs. I used to be afraid of even tiny little dogs. I used to imagine, I think in my mind, they would come and bite me or something terrible was going to happen, as if every little dog was like a big monster charging at me. And I've had really bad experiences with situations with little dogs. But what I did was I slowly made myself face the dogs as if I wasn't afraid. I just had made up my mind that I was going to show it. Then slowly, when it came to smaller dogs, I would allow them to come close to me and even pet them under their neck. Eventually, then there was a time when my kids were growing up, we had a dog who was very tiny and we brought that dog home. And when I saw the dog growing up in our own house, my fear of especially small dogs were gone. Later on, I also learned about dogs, different breeds and what they do and which ones are friendly dogs, which ones are just simply barking dogs, which ones are to be cautious about. All this resulted into now me not being afraid of most dogs. Yes, I will be afraid of aggressive dogs or scary dogs and I will be careful about it, but I am not afraid of dogs. And it amazes me to think about how I used to be and how I am. So I would say that you can expose yourself a little bit, sometimes not even in real situations, but if you want, you can expose yourself in your mind, in front of your mind's eyes. Keep imagining this situation, close your eyes and imagine as if it's really happening to you and see your own reactions, watch your own reactions, watch different things that you think could happen. Also watch a thing where your most fear may not come true and keep rehearsing it in your own mind. So that's a way to deal with these concrete fears of survival. Now the next thing is, what if there is a negative core belief? What if that core belief is stopping you, like public speech and things like that? Now next time I will talk about those kinds of situations. Bye for now.